Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I got it wrong.
Whatever.
It's 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, but we're going to go ahead and do the show anyways. It's 5 p.m. on the West Coast, and we are live. Welcome, adventurers. I'm your guide, Sean McZoo, and this is the Reptile Show Reporter. As usual, Bill Strand, the headmaster of the Chameleon Academy, is my co-host. And I don't think he's going to be getting us off topic because, as promised, TheCrotalus is here today.
What the heck?
Yes. But anyways, let's play the video and do a little dancing and then bring him up live. All right. All right. Hello, everybody. Let's start with who's here, Bill. Let's start with that, and then we'll bring TheCrotalus up.
All right. Well, Two-Turtle Tom has been doing a pre-show for us.
Yeah, as always, yes. His jokes are so bad this week, I'm not even going to put them up. But
I don't know. That could be good.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that's a matter of taste, I guess. All right. I'll bring him up here. Let's do him, just so he can go down in history. Time for the pre-show.
I'll read them out loud for the people listening.
Okay.
Reptile expos are the only places where someone can yell, "Who's selling roaches?" and 20 people proudly point to their tables. Woo!
There's the laugh track.
Laugh track. Nothing tests a marriage like hearing, "No, honey, this is a completely different chameleon."
Well, I said need more material, Tom, because
pretty good.
That was weak, I thought, but okay.
Reptile expos are the only places where carrying 10 tiny holes punched into a plastic cup somehow means you spent $1,200.
All right, and there's laugh track, and then was there more?
Reptile expos are really just support groups for people who own too many power strips.
Wow, man, this is bad stuff. All right.
And finally,
Tom's final joke for the week.
I'm just going to the expo to look.
All right, yes. Who else is here, Bill? Let's get on to another topic.
Well, Marsha Ann is here.
Marsha Ann, okay.
And Renee.
And I gotta pull Tom's comment off there. What the heck? Oh, hide. There it is. Okay. All right. And Renee.
With an accusation saying that this live show shows up as starting at 9 p.m. What the heck?
No, it said it right here. The timer said everything was ready. So I don't think there's anything going on. What's going on? All right, who else is here?
Okay, Mikey Ben.
And the Canadians. We always got to put them with the Canadians.
Sean gets a little defensive about these.
All right.
Geraldine is here.
Geraldine, we got to keep going, Bill. We got a little time.
All right. Well, then let's go to Jenna.
Jenna, she's in the background helping out, right?
Yeah.
She's telling TheCrotalus what things are going to be. Oh, my daughter is here with her cat that doesn't even belong in this house. Oh, man. That's her evil monster cat. That's my youngest daughter, Mary. She wants to watch the show. But, okay. Who else is here, Bill?
Wayne Abides is here.
Wayne Abides and pie on his face. There we go. Okay. Who else is here?
Eliza Ann.
Eliza showed up today.
That's right.
We're going to put Eliza with the entire crew. You got to figure out which one she is on the left. But yes. All right.
Alicia.
I got a newer picture of Alicia, but we'll go with that one. Okay.
Well, TheCrotalus is showing up, but we're going to see him a little bit later.
We got a picture of him, though. I downloaded it. Right. I spent the time. So, let's see. This is him with something strange. That looks fake. I don't know if that's real. We'll find out.
Yeah, that's Lego.
All right, what else?
James Cross.
James Cross is here. He finally made it, man. He's probably building something. Or telling everybody that there's fog in Madagascar, which is a lie. I know it.
Oh, boy. Now, don't start this, man.
I saw it on Instagram or Facebook or something late recently. I don't know what was happening, but all right. What else is
Well,
up?
you know what? He's going back to Madagascar. You can go ahead and challenge him on that and tell him go back and prove it.
Yes, exactly. Live on air. All right. Are we ready, Bill? Anyone else here?
That's it. Do we have a special guest?
That's it. We've got a special guest, the TheCrotalus. But oh, he's there. All right. You're live, Mr. TheCrotalus, sir.
Hello. That yellow snake that you thought was fake, I'll take him out for you first.
Oh, man. Prove you wrong, Sean.
What?
The snake that you said was fake?
I didn't believe it was fake. I knew it was real. I was really worried about him for the first time. I'm putting him up. Why is he not big? Not as okay. Let's see. There we go. I got people in the wrong places. There we go. All right. So you're much bigger now, so we can see you. No, I'm sure he's real, or she, or whatever. But so, yeah, see, that's a fake snake there.
Oh yeah, she's not real.
Okay, so
all AI.
What species is that?
She is a West African banded forest cobra. They are from West Africa. There are a few different forest cobra species. Typically, these are the most attitude-driven ones. She is actually from Dingo Dinkelman before he passed. He sent her over. She's being all sorts of rude.
Wow. So if everyone hasn't figured out, we've got venomous snake on today. Special guest.
Well, that's the reason why I came.
I may bring out some king cobras and stuff like that after, depending on how they're feeling tonight. I do have a name reveal for the Bolin's python as well that I'll do in just a minute for Jenna and I. Let me grab him for you.
Just be careful. We don't want any excitement on this show. More than just seeing snakes.
So this is Jenna and I's Bolin's python that we just picked up. We're in the works of getting 2 girls as well. But this boy's name is Diamond.
Very nice.
And this one is not venomous, Sean.
There we go. Okay, that's why you're handling it like you're grabbing its face.
Of course. So here, I work primarily with venomous and mainly venomous elapids and vipers, as well as Heligarma. I have some beaded lizards that I have produced.
So are these are part of a breeding project?
These are the babies. Not so much babies anymore, but these are the 2 babies that I produced about 2 years ago. And I've been raising them up.
And what species is this?
These are Mexican beaded lizards. These are Heligarma.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, these guys are super sweet. I've worked a lot with them.
You say they're super sweet?
Attitude-wise. Usually they like to huff and puff. These guys I've worked with out of the egg, and they're super friendly now. Tolerable to handling. But they're good educational ambassadors for the species.
Mm-hmm.
James says, oh man, killing me over here. Why, James, do you enjoy beaded lizards?
We do also have Gila monsters as well. Those are a different species, of course. Is anyone here in the chat from Arizona or out southwest?
Well, we got California boys.
California.
I'm Southern California. James is a little bit more north around the San Luis Obispo area.
Okay. I can take out some more familiar species out towards your range.
Oh, okay. All right. Two Turtle Tom is asking, can one make their own homemade GLP-1 from their heloderma? Sean.
I don't know, probably, but it wouldn't be advised.
This
So who
Crotalus?
is this guy?
This is an albino Western Diamondback. She is about 5 or 6 feet long. We've raised her since a baby for about 3 years now. She unfortunately has broken off her rattle. Most of the time, rattlesnake species will break off their rattle when they're out, but they keep on growing.
Okay. Oh, nice. Now, is there something with his head, his face that's not standard?
What was that?
His face. Is there something about his face that's not standard, or?
So he's on display. Unfortunately, a lot of little kids like to tap the glass, trying to get him to strike the glass, and it sometimes causes their face to move around.
Okay.
Whether it's nose rub or just their jaw gets misaligned for a short amount of time. But we usually take them out and then put them off the display to fix their face. This one is an Arizona black rattlesnake. You guys also have Arizona black-tailed rattlesnakes down there, and I have, I think, 2 babies for display.
Now they seem. Now we know that there's a very dangerous end, but they don't seem too excited.
Typically not. All of the snakes here are handled on a regular basis. They're also more used to being out in the public display. Most of them have more calm demeanors than you would see out in the wild.
So you talk about them being displayed. How are you displaying them? What are you doing?
They are displayed for education. This is the only facility in New Hampshire, pretty much all of New England, other than a zoo, that is legally allowed to display them.
Okay.
They're all displayed for educational purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Basically just trying to show people that they're not trying to chase you. They're not trying to go after you. Like, rattlesnakes use their tail as a way to tell you that they're in the vicinity rather than scaring you off and making you nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Most cobra species hood up just to act bigger, tougher, so that you're not going to mess with them. So they're not out to get you. No venomous snake is out to get you. The stories of the cottonmouth and the copperheads chasing people, they're just trying to get away from you. Even mambas, people in Africa say that they chase them down. If they chase towards you, it's to go right past you. So it's just trying to get away. Let's see. So native around here, we only have 2 native species around here. We have timber rattlesnakes and eastern copperheads. I don't have any eastern copperheads here anymore. We have some southerns, but we do have a few timber rattlesnakes and canebrakes. So timbers come in a few different color phases. This one being yellow, which has gone a bit more south. Up here we have melanistic or black-faced timbers. And most rattlesnake species here, as well as timbers in general, are super docile, super calm. They don't usually rattle. They don't come after you. They just want to hide.
Okay. Oh, they are beautiful.
Out in West Virginia, they have a special color phase of the canebrake. They have white phase canebrakes, which is the only place to find these guys.
Wow.
These are one of my favorites.
That's pretty.
Oh, yeah. We have a question from Mikey Ben for Crotalus. Any plans to see cobras in the wild?
See cobras in the wild. I have a few of my friends go on trips all over. One of my friends went to Africa recently and found some spinning cobras. I was very jealous, and I do plan on going on a trip with him to see some spinning cobras, some Egyptian cobras, stuff of that nature. Maybe not wild king cobras and stuff like that, but more of the smaller species for sure.
Okay.
See, this is a new baby we just got recently. Let me see. So similar to the yellow snake, this is a baby forest cobra. This is actually a black forest cobra. Babies don't usually bite. Not to say they can't, but they don't usually open their mouth to strike.
Oh, why is that?
Similar to vipers, when vipers are first born, you can actually just pick them right up. They have the knowledge to bite, but they don't open their mouth to strike and bite like adults. They don't have the fully, I guess, developed sense to protect themselves. Even getting babies is a struggle to eat sometimes because they won't even eat food. So that can be a little difficult sometimes.
Geraldine has a question. Have you ever had issues with the cobra biting itself?
Biting itself, for sure. We've had some issues with rattlesnakes biting themselves, copperheads, gaboons, some cobra species. It's kind of a myth, but not really, that snakes are immune to their own species of venom or their own venom itself. We have unfortunately had Arizona blacktail rattlesnakes bite each other and ended up passing or dropping their rattles. I do have one copperhead I can show you in a second who was bit. This is an albino white-lipped pit viper. These guys are from Indonesia, similar to the blue insularis, but a different species.
Yeah, it does look like that insularis. I've seen it at.
That is amazing.
They had the blue insularis and the green ones at the what was the Pittsburgh show, which is called Mega Show.
I am wondering why that question. So Geraldine knows what she's talking about. Why would someone ask you if you've had issues with snakes biting themselves? Is that something that happens?
Similar to king snakes, I guess. King snakes, elapids, so anything that's a cobra, they do tend to eat their own tail sometimes, and they'll end up eating, and they don't have the pain receptors when they're eating themselves to realize that they're doing it. Other snakes, if you have them paired up and you feed them, they can just bite each other off of food response or something like that. In this enclosure right here, we have a pair of black and white spinning cobras. They have never gone after each other. They've never done anything food-wise, never tried to eat one another or themselves. Some snakes just get along and some do not.
Okay.
And then this is the mom to that albino white-lipped. She's a little upset. But they get about 2 feet long in length. Their venom, there's a lot of misconception on different venom types as well as toxicity. Most tree viper species, venom doesn't have the capacity to kill you, but rather rot your fingers or wherever you're bit away. Let's see.
Liza is asking, what got you into venomous species? How'd you end up there?
As opposed to chameleons. I mean, what got you off the path?
When I started looking up a bunch of different reptile stuff, I've been into reptiles since I was probably 6 or 7, maybe 8 years old. Started keeping a lot of the more basic species. And then I started watching YouTube. And after watching YouTube, Tyler Nolan ended up popping up. And I saw his blue insularis. I saw gaboons, cobras. And I was like, I want that. That's exactly what I want. So I had the opportunity about 6 years ago when I turned 18 to start working with venamous, and it just kind of kicked off from there. It's my favorite species to work with. I love the way they interact. I'm fascinated by the venom complex or compositions, how they affect blood. I've personally milked snakes, tested it with blood to see how it either clots, it doesn't clot, like anticoagulants. It's hard to see how neurotoxic venom affects you unless you actually get bit, but
Okay.
there's a lot to it. And then for elapid species, all elapid species have neurotoxic venom, and then all viper species have cytotoxic venom. I don't wish to get bit. I don't wish anyone to get bit. But out of the two, vipers are a lot more easy to deal with. Neurotoxic shuts down your central nervous system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system. Basically, just shuts off your whole body. And depending on the species, it could be 15 minutes, could be 2 hours. It doesn't. There's no way to tell. So, I personally prefer viper species to work with. Hence the TheCrotalus name.
Okay. Or hingeback tortoises?
He was saying, you were saying or chameleons. He said or hingeback tortoises.
Oh, okay.
You went venomous instead, so there you go.
Oh. Well, that's funny. I was being serious.
This is one of our rhino vipers. This is a very upset one. Rhino vipers, similar to gaboon vipers, have some of the longest fangs. I actually have some fangs that I can go grab in a couple of minutes to show you just how long they are when they're fully grown adults.
Wow.
These guys color. So naturally out in the wild in Africa, they live in the forest. They're like little landmines. People don't realize that they step on them. Sometimes they don't even bite when you step on them. They're just buried in the mud and leaves, hiding away. And I can take out its other species, one of the gaboon vipers we have.
Those gaboons are cool.
Yeah.
I've got several wooden ones from the artist who did the artist who painted the mural behind me that from Michigan. She likes to paint those gaboons.
Oh, that's a thick one.
This is our adult male gaboon viper, one of them. We have some females upstairs. I actually just had the opportunity to ultrasound our female upstairs, and she is gravid with about 12 babies. So we also have a gravid timber rattlesnake upstairs with about 8 babies. And then, not sure if it's a secret still, we have about 45 baby king cobra eggs.
Wow.
I don't know what I'm going to do with that. 45 is too many.
Oh, yeah. What do you? Yeah. With chameleons, if we have overflow, we can just sell them wholesale to the pet store. You can't do that with the king cobra, I don't think.
Yeah, unfortunately, not a lot of in my personal opinion, not a lot of keepers that even do venomous should have kings. They get rather big. Even the smaller species, we have a Javan king cobra who's about 10 feet right now. He's not fully grown. Malaysian king cobras get upwards of 18 feet long.
Yikes.
It's not a snake for everyone.
For anyone, I think, but okay.
Yeah, it's not a snake for most. They are.
I guess that's the best way to say it. Not a snake for most.
Yeah. Let me see if this boy is good today.
Oh, got a question about a coral snake. I know they're rear fanged.
Coral snakes are front fanged elapids.
They are?
Yep. They are elapid species, so that means that they have fixed fangs in the front of their mouth. Viper species have hinged fangs, so they curl up and come downwards.
So, why don't I am not into the venomous world, but whenever I talk to venomous people, I don't see coral snakes.
Very hard to keep. So snakes, even though they're in the US, coral snakes are really hard to keep because a lot of times they're snake eaters or they'll eat lizards. Very few get on rodents, and it's not a healthy diet for them to sustain on rodents. So unless you have access to like baby corn snakes or something like that, they won't really thrive. Same goes for kraits, which are from Indonesia. There's probably maybe 10 in the US right now, and they're all snake eaters except for one. And that's not its natural diet, so there's no way of telling how long it'll live that way.
Okay.
Let's see.
Wait. Okay, James is asking, how big of a cage do you have to build to get one of those cobra? You talking about a king cobra?
King cobra? Where is James from?
Yeah. Well, James is in California, so he's
He's out of luck, man, right? They don't allow venomous in California, do they?
Yeah,
No.
unfortunately.
I know that they let them in Pennsylvania. I was very surprised when I went to the Pittsburgh Mega Show that they had tables full of venomous and little, most people weren't even like, they were out in like taped little plastic containers. I'm like, holy mackerel, you could just grab it.
Let's say if James moves to Pennsylvania, how big of a cage does he need for a king cobra?
So for the babies, you can really get away with anything, like a 2-foot enclosure, something of that size. For fully grown adults, the species that we produce are Malaysian king cobras. So they're going to get upwards of 18 feet long for males and probably about 14 for females. Bigger is always better, especially with a snake that loves to climb trees, a snake that loves to just explore. I personally keep an 18-foot king and at least a 10-foot by like 6 foot back, and then at least 8 feet high.
Okay.
They'll use the space. They definitely will use the space for it.
All right. Well, I mean, if we can all chip in, and James will build a cage, and we can keep it at Eliza Ann's. You can keep king cobras in Utah, right?
I don't believe Utah is a legal state. Unfortunately, even New Hampshire isn't a legal state. We have a permit here, and we're the only ones around that do. So unfortunately, a lot of people will go to Pennsylvania, get them illegally, and bring them back. And they get confiscated and brought right here.
Okay.
Wow.
So this is one of our girls. This is Sasha, who just laid 30 eggs.
Wow. That's a much bigger problem than when your veiled lays 60 eggs, Bill.
Yeah, it is. Two-year-old Tom's asking Bill, why aren't there any venomous chameleons? Because they are gentlemen.
I don't know about that. Because you don't have to kill a bug to eat it, man.
So Geraldine says Pennsylvania has no state restrictions on venomous as long as it's not native.
That's crazy.
Isn't that interesting?
You can't have a native tortoise, but you can have a king cobra. So that makes a lot of sense.
I'm really glad you're here.
James says, look at that cobra face. There's nothing more than that. Okay, it was a cute face. I'll give you that.
James should 3D print himself a cobra. That would be a lot safer.
Yeah, well,
it wouldn't need to be fed, it wouldn't be venomous, and it wouldn't need a cage.
I ran into some spitting cobras in Java.
Javan spitting cobras. We did have a white-faced Javan spitting cobra. We did let that one go because it never stopped spitting. The glass was always just covered in venom. So same with our wrinkle spitting cobras. We used to have a pair here as well. It was anytime the door swung open, anytime there was any movement in here, there was just venom all over the glass. So we try to keep our spitters to a minimum, as well as more docile, I guess. If they constantly spit, we usually don't keep them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's one upstairs. So we have 7 spitting cobras left. We've had a lot more than that, but there's no point in getting venom in your eyes, venom in your mouth, or if you have open wounds. So about 2 weeks ago, I got bit by a croc monitor on my wrist. And if I get spit venom into my open wounds, that can affect my entire system. So it's just not worth it.
Okay. Can you tell him to show Candy, please, at the end? That's from Jenna.
Was that from Jenna?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Candy is an animal that I've been raising for about 6 years. I can grab her right now since she's awake.
All right. Well, here's a question. James says, does a flute actually mesmerize the snake? He's probably talking about the snake.
So
dancers.
it is not the flute. It is not the noise. Cobras are very stimulated by movement. So what they're doing is they're moving their knee back and forth. They're moving the flute and they're focusing on that. So if any of you noticed when I took out the king cobra, she was locked in that direction on another king cobra's face. So if I move her any bit left and right, her head is just going to stay stagnant looking at him. They get very fixated on objects.
That's neat to know.
And this is Candy. This is our...
That's not a snake.
This isn't a snake. This is a Cuvier's dwarf caiman that I've been raising for about 6 years now. She is the most socialized one I've ever seen. I can pet anywhere on her mouth. I can pet anywhere on her and she won't do anything. She's very tolerant of touch.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yes.
Marcia is asking, what do you do with the misbehaving snakes?
We still have to take them out. Misbehaving snakes or not, if they're giving us an attitude, like Lucifer, who I'll take out for you guys in a little bit, they still have to come out. They still have to be clean. They still have to be fed, have water. Like, they still need the proper care. Snakes like that, typically, I'm used to working alone. There's only 2 people on the permit, one of which who actually just got here, as well as me, because I asked about Lucifer, and then the owner. So unfortunately, they still have to come out, regardless of their size, their attitude, if they can spit or not. If they constantly start striking at us, they still have to come out and be cared for. And that's why I don't typically recommend venomous to anybody, because there's, not to say there will be any accidents, but there's no way of telling. Mm-hmm. Accidents happen. I've had a lot of friends get tagged, lose fingers, or have their fingers start to rot away, arms. I've even had some friends lose their lives because of venomous. It is a hobby that is not taken lightly, for sure.
So do you have your own anti-venom there, or do you have a zoo near you, or what where's the anti-venom? Because I know it's expensive and it's hard to get, and most ERs don't have it. So
no ERs actually hold anti-venom. Around here we have native TheCrotalus horridus, which is the timber rattlesnakes, and then Echistrodon contortrix, which are the eastern copperheads. Zoos around here, or maybe hospitals, might have anti-venom for that. We typically keep crowfab, which is for rattlesnake species. Most of what we keep on display with the more upset attitudes. Even private keepers don't have enough anti-venom. There's not enough to go around, unfortunately. So things like king cobras, gaboon vipers, any of the horrible neurotoxic species snakes, your best bet would probably be the Kentucky Zoo, in all reality. They had the taipan venom for Jeff Lebowitz, who was tagged by an inland taipan. They had the polystictus venom for another keeper who was tagged. But it's not cheap.
How far is the Kentucky Zoo from you?
So I'm also
sure
an
they
EMT.
life flight it or whatever, or they fly you there, but
yeah. So that's part of it. I'm also an EMT. So we would transport you to the hospital. Mm-hmm. You would get med flighted. There's not much in the protocols we can do for you as paramedics or EMTs. Mm-hmm. It's basically just keeping you stable as long as we can and elevating it so the blood doesn't flow to it.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever tourniquet it off so it stops there, or does that make worse situation?
It's the tricky part. So neurotoxic venom, your best bet is to tourniquet it off. If that spreads through your system and gets to your central nervous system, cardiovascular, respiratory system, or just anywhere around your chest area, it can shut you down and you need to be on a ventilator to stay alive. Neurotoxic venom, I would tourniquet off. Hemotoxic venom and cytotoxin, you're better off not tourniqueting it off and letting it spread more. It evens it out and it doesn't keep it in the affected spot to rot away.
Yeah, I understood.
So if a rattlesnake were to bite your finger, if you tourniquet it off, you'll lose your finger regardless. If you let it spread, it may... There's not enough research done on it, so it may save your finger. Or
nobody's volunteering for this research, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I certainly won't be.
He's not giving advice. He's only stating the research.
Yes, I'm speculating with a few things as well. There definitely isn't enough research done with venamous, or a lot of different species for that matter.
James is asking, do your tropical species use fog? Have you integrated fog into your husbandry?
For tropical species, we don't implement fog. We do a lot more misting. So we'll mist in the mornings, mist at night, sometimes in the middle of the day, depending on the species. I don't know how the fog will affect with them. And most of our tropical species aren't even on display. They're all either being raised up or off a display for the time being. I don't even think there's one in here. Nope. Most of the species down there on display are more arid species.
We don't want James to come there and help you fog, because we know James would get in love with that and have to move. So we call him the fog father here. So even though he wasn't the first to fog, he's been the most aggressive fogger we know.
All right, we have a question from Owen. Says, can you talk about gaboon vipers and other hybrids and the venom complex that come with those?
From Owen. Okay. So
Gabino vipers.
Yes. So with most species, depending on the genus, so the genus for West African, East African gaboon vipers, as well as puff adders, rhino vipers, they're all in the genus Vitis. So similar to other species, you can actually hybridize them. Out in the wild, West African gaboon vipers and rhino vipers do cross paths. Sometimes they do hybridize out in the wild. So that's one of the more natural occurring species you can do. There is a breeder who crossed puff adders with gaboons and puff adders with rhinos as well. My personal take on it is, if it doesn't happen in the wild, don't recreate it in captivity. Or don't create like puff adder to gaboon when the only species would be rhinos and gaboons. That's my personal opinion. It does also affect their venom composition. So depending on the species, like if you crossed an eastern diamondback with a timber rattlesnake, which is called a batwing, they have a lot more hemotoxic and cytotoxic venom with a bit of neurotoxic venom as well. So they end up getting all three.
Wow, that's not a good thing.
Yes.
How do you decide what species to bring into the facility?
What was that?
How do you decide what species to bring into the facility?
It depends. We usually try and go for some larger species. Species that are more native around here, especially in the US, a lot of rattlesnakes. It's usually for more myth busting. Like, rattlesnakes aren't going to chase you. We've had moccasins telling people that they're not going to chase them. And then we get into the bigger and cooler species. So this is a South American bushmaster. These guys are from South America. They can get upwards of 12 feet. We typically like to keep bigger and then native. So kings, gaboons, bushmasters, all sorts of things like that.
How big is the venomous community?
It's rather big, to be completely honest. Out especially Virginia, Pennsylvania, Texas, the laws there are basically non-existent. Pennsylvania, you can buy anything, you can keep anything. As long as it's in the state, you can have it. So around here, it's basically non-existent because we're the only ones that can keep. Up to Maine, Vermont, Connecticut, New Jersey, all those states are illegal. South has a bigger population for the community for sure.
Okay. It just seems like it would be an intense community, and people have to keep track of each other because if somebody acts up, it hurts everybody.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there have been a lot more tags recently, actually. A lot of them aren't being more so documented. Out in Pennsylvania, where it's legal to keep, somebody lost one in their house, and their neighbor had called because they hadn't seen them. And he actually got bit by one of his zebra spitting cobras. And Fish and Game found the cobra underneath inside of the fridge, and then found him unfortunately passed.
Wow.
So it's basically a loaded weapon. That's how we typically put it for educational purposes. All of these still have their fangs, still have their venom glands, except for one. 23 years ago now, somebody removed the venom glands from our Indian spectacled cobra for his own personal education, because he was afraid to get bit, but still wanted to be able to show that he works with cobras. Okay. That I'm completely against as well. I don't see the need to affect the snake in any way. If you're afraid to work with it, I just wouldn't work with it. And unfortunately, it caused the snake to stop hunting. It affects the way that it eats. It doesn't have the same muscle mass anymore, so it doesn't really ride hooks as well. But this snake is fully non-venomous. They just still have their fangs.
Okay.
Wow. So James is asking, do you feed live or killed, or frozen, or whatever?
For venomous, we typically try to feed frozen. In general, we try and feed frozen. Feeding live has its own problems. If the rat were to bite them when the snake bites them, they can get infected. Their scales get infected. They can end up having holes into their body. Usually it's more problems than good. So we try and feed frozen unless they absolutely need to. They won't eat on their own. And assist feeding or force feeding is like the final resort, which unfortunately a lot of baby tree vipers need to be assist fed or force fed because they're just not, they don't usually eat on their own.
Okay.
I had a few what do they call what is the most common snake that's got all the colors? It's the not a venomous snake, it's just a standard snake. It's at every reptile show.
Corn snake?
No, not a corn snake. Ball pythons, yeah. I've assist fed ball pythons, and that's a harrowing experience as it is, because the ball pythons have, they just don't have the same. That's why I got all boas now and a hognose, because boas eat like boas, and boas, that they're known for eating, and hognoses go at it even more than my boa does. But you don't have to worry about that. But they're, I guess hognose are rear fang venomous, but that's not the same kind of stuff. I've been bitten by them and no effect. But yes, it's a different kind of thing.
Explain that. Rear fanged and why something would be rear fanged.
So the difference between rear fang and front fanged venomous is front fanged venomous have either fixed fangs, like I said with the elapids. Their fangs are always out. For viper species, they have hinged fangs, so their fangs sit up and come out and hook like that.
Okay.
And then there's rear fang. Rear fang venomous are colubrid species. They're not considered elapids or vipers. They have two small fangs in the back of their mouth with smaller venom glands that have less toxic venom, usually designed to kill things like frogs or lizards out in the wild. They range from all over. From the U.S., garter snakes are technically rear fang venomous. South America has a lot of different species. Same with Indonesia. It's more designed for their prey.
Okay. Well, James is going to throw out a tough question here. He wants to know which one is your favorite.
My favorite one I have not taken out yet. I will take her out right now.
Okay.
was my very first species to work with
segue,
really bad neurotoxic venom. She is a Chinese cobra. So personally here, she is one of my favorites. She is rather small, but she usually hoods up for display with people, always huffing and puffing. For a lapid species. Other than that, probably Lucifer, who I will take out towards the end just because he is a 10-foot hassle. As for viper species, my favorites are probably rhino vipers. I've always liked the Congo rhino vipers, their pattern. The way they feel is very interesting. It's not smooth, it's more rigid. Similar to the Bushmaster that I took out, but they're more like beaded lizards, which is interesting.
Okay. We see the Insularis. We see the famous one that is blue. It was like that yellow one you had. What are these different color morphs or different locales?
So with blue Insularis, there's 3 phases, they're called, similar to Amazon tree boas. If you were to breed a blue to a green, you can get blues or greens, and there's a small possibility of getting yellows.
Okay.
The 3 colors are green phase, which are found a little bit more, I believe, southeast. The blues, which are most of the west. And then there's a small island called the Watari Island that has the yellow phase. Personally, I like the blues as well. They also come in 2 different color phases in the blue. They have either red or silver, which affects the eyes and the base of the tail. So the stripe on the top of the tail will either be red or silver, as well as the eyes.
Okay. Marsha's going to stick to chameleons, and Geraldine says, seeing all these snakes makes me so happy.
I'm glad the snakes make a lot of people happy. I figured it might be interesting, as you guys mostly do chameleons, I thought.
Well, one of the
Bill is the
loudest
chameleon guy.
guys.
I'm the all reptile guy, but I'm heavily into chameleons. I have snakes, I have tortoises, I have puppies, and obviously my daughter has a cat. But let's see, I have tortoises, turtles. Tortoises are turtle family. I've got a frilled dragon, a pectinatus, and a banana pectinatus, and I can't stay away from Tinley. I go there and I have to bring something home unique, because I go to all these other reptile shows and they don't have as much unique stuff. So when I go to Tinley, I have to bring something home. I gotta stop doing that because I'm getting older, and eventually the reptiles are gonna. I mean, all my tortoises are gonna outlive me. That's for sure, because they're in there. Even the ones that are 40 or 50 years old, they're gonna make it to 100 or so. But still.
I usually don't go to expos anymore because I'm bound to bring something bad home. Usually I go to Pennsylvania, and then...
have you been to the Pennsylvania Mega Show out in Pittsburgh?
I haven't been to Pittsburgh. I just got back about 2 weeks ago from the Hamburg show in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. That's bigger than this show. The
only one I've been to out there was the Mega Reptile Expo. It's usually like Memorial Day and Labor Day. I don't know why they put it on the 2 holiday weekends, but it's all weekend, and it had a lot. It's my first time I ever saw venomous stuff, on a shelf I could pick up. And the surprising thing was they were $100, $200. I mean, they had cobras for a couple $100. I'm like, who's? I mean, I know that it's like, oh, I know I live in Ohio, so I'm not, I'm not going to have any venoms. That's beyond my desire to do. I'm a physician, so I'm on that other side. I want to help, not cause grief. But no, I completely understand your love of them. But I just not interested in it. So I love looking at them. I have thousands of pictures that I took while I was at the expo. I mean, they weren't out, but they were in they're in like little plastic containers. They were just like everything else comes in. And I'm just like, wow.
The holes on the side, people don't tape those up. We've had people get tagged through holes. We've had them.
I can imagine, because some of the vendors have like a net where it's over. You can see over it. You can't reach in. You can't touch them. You can't pick anything up. Other vendors, they're like 4 piled high. You could just walk away with it. And because they're so inexpensive compared to everything else on their thing, people wouldn't even notice. Now they have people at the front and back door, or the front door is the only real door you can go out. But you know, the show that's out in the mega show, every time there's a mega show, they have another show right behind it, which is a cannabis show. So people are walking from the cannabis show into the mega show. It's like not a wise situation, but yeah, I don't know how those two got stuck together, but I don't think it was wise.
Yeah, I don't usually recommend venomous to anyone. I don't think I have recommended anyone to do venomous, unless it is something you truly, truly want to do and learn. But it's not. The risk is always higher than the reward. It's personally not worth it. I do it for an education standpoint. I've trained probably 2 people, and it's just not good to have on your conscience if something were to happen. That's the way I look at it. Because if I explain to somebody how I handle, similar to keeping, it may work for me, but it may not work for you. So little tips and tricks that I do. I can manipulate the snakes on the hooks. If I hold them outwards, they usually spin this way. If I pull them in, then they'll spin the other way. Little tricks that I've picked up as handling snakes for the years. But if somebody else tries that and they happen to swing the other way, they drop them, they get tagged. I don't want that on my conscience.
Yeah, I was feeding my boas this weekend. I feed them every weekend, and I wasn't paying attention. I grabbed the water thingy and it tagged me. So that's not, you know, they aren't that big. They're still smaller, but you know, no big deal. I got a couple of holes in my skin and I walk on and go with life. But that kind of thing would be tremendously terrible if it was a venomous thing. So
my only snake is a northern emerald tree boa. So if I want to get bit, I can get bit and still live.
You don't want to get bit by those.
Yeah, I've only gotten bit once, and it was amazing. I think it was just I didn't feel anything, so it was just a thing. It was just faking me out. Yeah, a minute later, all of a sudden, blood starts all over. That's okay.
I've had enough bruises from emerald tree boas biting just because their teeth go so deep. So.
Yeah. Anyway, Mikey Ben is asking, do you watch Living Zoology on YouTube?
I don't typically watch a lot of YouTube, or I guess any streams or podcasts for that matter. Typically, I try to keep myself busy, especially with my own animals. I'm usually always either working with the venomous, the crocodilians, or my own personal animals at my house. I don't really have the time, I guess, but I've slowly started making more time to get out into the reptile world again. So.
Okay. Well,
we really appreciate you being here and showing us all these cool things. You just don't see them, and you know, even the ones that I've seen at the mega show, they weren't out of the cages. They were in the little plastic containers. They were tiny, and I wasn't about to grab the containers. So I'm
gonna have you put them on the ground on the side in a minute.
How active is the community as far as pushing husbandry forward? I mean,
what do you mean by pushing husbandry?
Well, okay, you've been to some of the Chameleon Academy lives. So
yes.
we've got this group here. A lot of people are here from that, and we're really aggressively challenging everything that we thought we knew. And
yeah, I guess for venomous, the problem with venomous is more so the risk with it. When you build an enclosure for them, I personally love to make them naturalistic, or more so naturalistic if I can. Live plants, they kill everything. They knock them down, uproot them. It's really hard to keep them in unless they're tree vipers. For instance, like our beaded lizards and our Heloderma in general, they have more of a clay sand mixture. Heloderma prefer to climb, so they're semi-arboreal, so we'll give them stuff to climb up on usually. The smaller snakes, we give them plenty of hides. Our desert rattlesnakes all have sand and clay mixture. Even our Baby Eastern Diamondback has that for now until she is older.
Okay.
But when you're building them, you can't really stack up a bunch of sticks because they're just going to loop back and forth, and anchor onto it, as we say. And it's a way bigger risk to you to try and take them out that way and clean them. So a more naturalistic but simplistic idea, if that makes sense.
I can see how you have a life and death aspect to how you set up the cage.
Yeah, especially with the larger species or species that are more muscle based. They anchor on everything. So they'll hook their head around and hold on and pull right back in. And you just have to let them go back in, reset, and try and take them out a different way. Some of the snakes definitely take a little while to take out, especially the king cobras. Did you want to put that bit on the ground and screw it tight? Inside. No. I do have one more snake that I could take out for you. He is our het-leucistic king cobra.
All right.
His name is Lucifer, for a very good reason, because of his attitude. He's the only snake in this building that I do not trust. Everything else is a lot more tolerable, handling wise.
Unscrew it once he's out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess we'll make this the grand finale of the show here.
Right. So, given his size, he is a larger of the. You can already see him coming right out. He is a larger Javan king cobra. Always close.
I'm not trying to squeeze up you to fix the box.
I will pass you the box. Because I'm going to hold him right here.
All right.
Thank you. So Lucifer is our wild-caught het-leucistic Javan king cobra. He's about 10 feet long, maybe closer to 9. He's not in captive generation out. Can you tilt the camera on the laptop down?
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Okay.
He is a whirlwind of emotion, as usual. And they also, as I said before, they are semi-arboreal. They love to climb. They love to just put on. Lovely.
So do they know where their own cage is to go in, or they just go in anywhere?
He does know where his enclosure is. He is just the nastiest snake I've ever seen here. Attitude-wise, temperament-wise, can you wave your...
Wow, that's a cool view, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm on the other side of the camera.
There you go. He is like no other king that I've ever worked with.
Let me put this glass back in.
Yep. The biggest thing with larger snakes, especially kings, is using your tools if possible. The 14-foot kings, it's a little harder to use a hook on, mainly because of their reach and your reach as well. I can only reach out so far. He's doing. So true nausea species also have a modified scale where on the end of their tail, they like to stab you. Basically to trick you into thinking that you're either getting bit or attacked from another direction so that they can get you away from them.
Oh, I had not heard about that.
Which one does that? Monocle does that. I could take out one more after to show you that modified scale. I don't trust me at all today.
Now, with all of that, I only saw him try to strike once.
One quick strike. His attitude is more hooding and then coming towards you. Their defensive posture is their main, I guess, sense of defense. Acting bigger, more bad. That's usually what they go for. With a snake like that, king cobras have enough venom to kill a full-grown elephant or up to 50 adults with one bite. So if it can kill 50 people with one bite, it can surely shut down one person in no time. And he does not hold back. With his venom, when he bites, he just juices venom. When we feed him rats, the rats end up becoming yellow because of the venom. He's just not the best snake by any means. Temperament-wise, I do love him. But temperament-wise, he is a horrible snake.
All right.
Everything else in the facility is very good temperament-wise. We usually do educational displays on the weekends for, I think, kids and adults, just to show off all of the snakes and how they actually interact with people, rather that they're not scary little beings that try and chase you. Coming out.
And who is the next last one?
I have one more that I can show you the modified scale on that I was saying before. If he wants to cooperate. But like I said, I try to make things look more pretty, more naturalistic, more things to climb on. And it just comes back to bite me because they always anchor and then don't let you. So on the very tip of their tail there, they have that one little white spike. That one little white spike there, they will actually manipulate into spiking you, thinking that you're getting bit or scratched or anything of that nature to get you to leave them alone.
Okay.
Like a last resort defense rather than biting and then running. And always lock your enclosures.
Always.
That I always recommend with everything.
Yeah, James, make sure you lock that yellow lip enclosure.
Oh, man.
Oh.
All right. Thank you very much for that exciting episode, man.
This was incredibly
really cool stuff. I am not going to get a venomous snake. I don't want a venomous snake. I like to look at them. I'm even willing to go to the mega show and look at them, and I'll keep my fingers away from those holes in the containers now. I didn't think about it, but I wasn't going to touch them anyway. So, but yes, this was really neat to see, and I'm glad someone else is doing it rather than us.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you so much. So,
have a good night, everybody.
Everybody, thanks for coming. We'll see you later.